Dr. Mindy here, and I'm back with more food videos. On this video, want to talk about the healthy foods that you might be eating, and you might be eating them every single day, that will stop you from a long and healthy life. So if longevity is your key, if you want to age with grace and lots of energy, you're going to want to avoid these foods. I'm going to start with like my biggest pet peeve. When I first started working about 20 years ago with patients on nutrition, this is before working on nutrition was popular, I found that there were two things consistently that people were doing for breakfast, having for breakfast, that they thought was healthy. And they were so proud of it. And it was a metabolic disaster. So you have to remember, when we're looking at longevity, one of the key markers to longevity is keeping your glucose and insulin low. If you have blood work, what you want to see is a hemoglobin A1C that's under 5. You want to be closer to 4.5 for graceful, energetic aging. So these two breakfast foods were destroying your people's metabolic profile. Ready for the first one? Orange juice. Everybody thinks, I'm going to have a glass of orange juice in the morning. It's going to be so healthy for me because it raises vitamin C. I have no idea where the orange juice, lobbyists are out there, but somehow we got it nailed in our brain that this is healthy and you got to get rid of it. And let me tell you why. Look at this as a cup of sugar. It's literally a cup of sugar. When you drink it, your blood sugar is going to spike, and then it's going to crash a couple of hours later. And it's going to put you on this massive metabolic up and down, and that is absolutely destroying your insulin levels. I'm going to even go as bold as to tell you that orange juice is making you insulin resistant. And the fact that you would have it in the morning is setting you up for a day of metabolic failure. So let's get rid of it. I got a sink right here. I'm just gonna pour it out. Let's get rid of that. Second thing that everybody wanted to eat, and for the longest time I was like walking around my clinic going, why does everybody eat this for breakfast? There's so many other things you could eat for breakfast, let alone how important fasting could be in the morning. But the big thing is oatmeal. Now, before you click off and you're like, wait a second, oatmeal. I love my oatmeal. I feel like people love oatmeal more than they love orange juice. But it's the instant oatmeal that is the worst. I don't care if you're buying it from the healthiest store in the world. What we find with anything that's instant is that it's not going to have as much fiber in it. These tend to typically have some sugar in them. This one I actually bought from a local health food store, and it had coconut sugar in it, plus a couple other interesting sugar substitutes in it. Still is going to spike your blood sugar. Because it's instant, it has been refined, so there's less fiber in it. So every time, think about that. In the morning, you're having your oatmeal and you're having your orange juice. You think you're being healthy, but really what you're doing is creating this massive, huge spike in your blood sugar. Now, if you don't believe me, I'm going to ask you to either put a CGM on, continuous glucose monitor, and look at it for yourself. See it with your own eyes. If you don't have the resources for a continuous glucose monitor, get one of those blood sugar readers and take a measurement before you have your orange juice, take a measurement before you have your oatmeal, and then half an hour later, take another measurement and look at the delta of those two measurements. Because your blood sugar doesn't lie. It will show you how much those two foods spike your blood sugar, putting you down a poor path to metabolic health. Slowing aging, at the root of longevity exists stable blood sugar, low blood sugar, ability to metabolically switch. So those are the first two. Okay, second, I'm just going after all the food today. I know I don't mean to upset you all, but I want to help you become healthy. Iceberg lettuce. There's no nutritional value in iceberg lettuce. But here's the challenge. I see this when I go out to conferences to speak, is that when I go to a restaurant and I ask for a salad, most of the time the salad will come with iceberg lettuce. There is very little nutrients in iceberg lettuce. And if you get it from a conventional farm, it's the same thing. So, or it's even worse. The ways that we are conventionally growing our fruits and vegetables are deficient in microbes, they're deficient in minerals and vitamins. And I don't know, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're a farmer out there, I don't know a lot of regenerative farms that are growing iceberg lettuce. They're growing more of the mixed greens, more of the exotic lettuces, some of the new lettuces that are appearing. We get one of our favorite lettuces comes from, and I'm going to give them a shout out because I love them, is Spade and Plow. And when I go and get lettuce from them, they're our local farmer. Oh my gosh, I've never even heard of half of these lettuces. They are grown in regenerative farms. A salad appears to be healthy, but if you're doing it with iceberg, it's got no nutrients in it. A salad that's got all of these exotic lettuces and maybe some dandelion greens and some parsley and a lot of mixed greens in it grown from a regenerative farm, you can call them both salads, but they're completely deficient in how they're going to support your health. One will rob you of health. This does nothing for you, depletes you of nutrients. One will add to health. And we call them both salads. Okay, other one that I want to talk about is the potato. Now, hopefully if you followed me long enough, I am a huge fan of the sweet potato. I'm also a huge fan of making sure that you're eating a variety of potatoes. And here's why. The sweet potatoes of different colors and potatoes outside of just the russet all have a resistant starch in them. And this resistant starch actually will go into the lower part of your large intestine and feed the microbes in your large intestine. A conventional russet potato grown from a conventional farm is going to be just a big starch bomb. And you're going to, same thing as the orange juice, same thing as the oatmeal, you're just going to see a glucose spike, and then you're going to end up seeing that glucose is going to dip and you're on that metabolic roller coaster. So now, if you had a russet potato from a regenerative farm, if you mixed it with a variety of potatoes, if you mixed it with a variety of sweet potatoes, that's what I do in my house. I actually will chop up all the different colored sweet potatoes, all the different colors of regular potatoes, put them together and bake them. Now we're working with a different avenue towards health. We're not depleting health, we're adding to it. And my blood sugar will stay more even that way. A conventional potato, not a lot of nutrients in it. You add margarine to it, which a lot of people are doing it, and now you literally are killing yourself. So there's that. Okay, last thing. And I've got one other concept, so hang in here. When we go to eat vegetables, what I find is that most people reach for these two vegetables. They reach for our carrot sticks and they reach for our celery sticks. And we eat these over and over and over again. There's a common theme in this video, which is these types of foods that are conventionally grown are not only not adding to your health, they are depleting your health because they have no nutrients and they take energy from you to be able to digest them. So they can tank your minerals, they can tank your vitamins. But the other part, and the reason that I am bringing these two out, is what I find is that when you say to somebody, eat more vegetables, they go to these two. There is something called monoculture, where when we eat the same vegetables over and over and over again, we take our microbial diversity, we take the incredible health benefits of the microbes in our gut, and we start to create a subset of microbes that are flourishing, allowing the other microbes to fall away. You create a monoculture. When we look at what we need to stay microbial health in optimal order, which, by the way, your microbes in your gut support your immune system. They regulate your blood sugar. They give you neurotransmitters for your brain. It's really important that you feed them. You don't want to do the same things over and over again. This here, and I know we're a worldwide audience, but this is the standard American diet right here. People think that they're eating these and they're healthy, and they're eating them over and over and over again. And what's happening is that they're creating a really small diversity of microbes in their gut, and they're missing out on the key microbes that help you break down estrogen, that make serotonin for you, that help support your immune system. We've got to open up your diet Stop eating the same things over and over again. So if you've been eating carrots and celery for your whole life, it's time to try something different. Try some red pepper, some yellow pepper, eat the colors. Try some cucumber, try adding more salads, but let's stop eating the same thing over and over again. If you have never eaten these and you're like, oh wait, so I shouldn't eat celery or I shouldn't eat carrots. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's the overuse of these vegetables over and over and over again that's aging us. We are missing out on the miracles that vegetables can create in our body, and especially for longevity. So hopefully in this video you see a theme, which is these are the classic go-to health foods that we see, especially here in America. We have a small subset of these health foods, and we keep doing them over and over and over again. It's spiking our blood sugar, causing our metabolic health to be a mess, and it's destroying our microbiome. And when you have a metabolic situation and a deficient microbe, you have a body that is aging quicker than it needs to age. It all comes down to that simplicity. As always, I'm really working to give you things that you can do at home, that you can start to make better choices for yourself so that you don't just lose weight. I mean, if you want to lose weight, I really am cheering you on, and I know you can do it. But I also want to say that it's time for you to learn how to use fasting, how to use food to improve your immune system, to improve your mental health, for women going through menopause. How do we use this complex system of food that we have available to us to be able to help balance our hormones? There's so much to learn there, and we are living in a health food illiterate world where we think a salad means just grab some iceberg, and we think that when we put margarine on a potato that that's actually healthy for us. It's not. We've got to start thinking outside of the box, and I hope that this video started that process for you. So, as always, if you want to know more of this information, join me in my Reset Academy. We are teaching everything from food to fasting, everything you need to know about a fasting lifestyle in the greatest detail that I know how to bring you. But more importantly, don't give up on yourself if you're living in a body that you don't love and doesn't feel good. I want you to think outside the potato box. I want you to think outside the iceberg lettuce box. I want you to expand your food choices so that everything in your body works better and you love living in this glorious machinery that you've been given to live in for the entirety of your life. So, as always, I hope that helps. And if you want to join my academy, just put Reset Academy in the notes and my team will send you a link. What I'd love to know, for those of you that are like experts here on my channel, what vegetables do you love? Okay, let's think outside the carrot and celery box. What vegetables do you love? What's your favorite potato, or what's your favorite lettuce? Let's start a conversation on here so we can really all learn from each other, because sometimes there's things that I don't even know, and it's fun to hear what you're experimenting with when it comes to foods that promote your health. Okay, if you've made it this far in the video, it's a sign. You definitely need to subscribe. And if you want to learn more, if you love that video and you want to dive into more of the information I have on this channel, go to this video.